she posted at 2:47 in the morning, not a statement, not a press release carefully worded by someone whose job is to make difficult truths sound manageable. A single image, no caption, no explanation. No words at all, just the image posted at 2047 in the morning when the people who were going to see it first were the ones who could not sleep, the ones whose phones were still lit in dark rooms, the ones who had been following the story long enough that their notifications were set and their attention was ready. She knew exactly what she was doing. I want to be precise about that before anything else. She is not someone who acts without understanding the weight of her actions. She has been in this world long enough, the world of careful public positioning, of everything meaning something, of images read for subtext before they are read for surface, to know that what she posts at 2047 in the morning after 3 years of near total silence is not going to be received as casual. She knew it would land like a confirmation. She posted it anyway. That is the confirmation. Not the image itself, the decision to post it. The timing of it, the complete absence of explanation, which is itself the loudest possible statement from someone who has spent years giving no statements at all. She did not need to write anything. The act of posting was the words. The 2047 timestamp was the punctuation. Anyone who had been paying attention understood immediately what had just been said without a single word being used to say it. It's over. But I need to take you back before I take you forward. Because this moment, this image, this timestamp, the silence that spoke louder than anything she could have written, did not arrive out of nowhere. It arrived at the end of something, a long something, a something that most people only saw the final frame of and assumed they understood because final frames look like complete pictures if you have not seen what came before them. She was his first wife, not in the technical sense only, in the real sense. The first person he chose when choosing was something he did with the full seriousness of someone who understood what he was choosing and what it would mean for everything that followed. There's a difference between a first choice made before you fully know yourself and a first choice made by someone who has done the work of knowing themselves and is choosing from that knowledge. His first choice was the second kind. He was not young and uncertain when he chose her. He was someone who had seen enough of the world to know what he was looking for and had found it and was choosing it with both eyes open. She received that choice with the same seriousness it was offered with. This matters. Because one of the things that spread in the version that went public was a suggestion, never stated directly, always implied, that she had been naive, that she had not understood fully what she was entering, that the situation had been misrepresented to her, and she had believed the misrepresentation because she had wanted to believe it. The suggestion was convenient for everyone who needed her to be a victim of her own optimism rather than a full participant in a real situation who had been treated in a specific way by specific choices made by specific people. She was not naive. She went into this with complete clarity about what it was. She had asked the questions that needed to be asked. She had received answers that were, at the time they were given, true, or true enough that the parts that were not yet true had not yet become what they would eventually become. She was not lied to at the beginning. She was told a version of the truth that was accurate at the time and became inaccurate later as things shifted in ways that were not shared with her as they shifted. This is a different thing from being deceived from the start. She understood the difference. She has always understood the difference. And this understanding, the specific clarity of someone who knows that the thing that happened to them was not the result of their own failure to see clearly, but the result of a situation that changed without her being told it was changing, is part of why she stayed silent for as long as she did. She was not processing confusion. She was not trying to figure out what had happened. She knew exactly what had happened. The silence was not the silence of someone searching for understanding. It was the silence of someone who had understanding and was deciding carefully and repeatedly over time what to do with it. What she did with it for 3 years was hold it. Inside those 3 years of watching the public version settle into permanence, she was not still. She was in motion in every way that was not visible. She was building something. Not a case, not a strategy, not the shaped and calculated response that the people around her kept suggesting she should prepare and release. Something simpler and harder than any of those things. She was becoming completely sure. Sure what she knew. Sure what it meant. sure of what she wanted to say about it and how she wanted to say it and what she was willing to give to the world and what she was keeping. Sure in the way that only time produces not the brittle certainty of fresh pain which can be argued with and revised and has the quality of something that might shift if enough pressure is applied, but the solid certainty of something that has been tested repeatedly across years and has not moved. She became sure, and then she posted the image at 2:47 in the morning. I want to tell you what came after the post, not the public reaction. That was immediate and loud and entirely predictable. The internet performing its ritual of speculation and certainty and hot takes assembled from no information at all. I want to tell you about what she did after she posted it, which is something almost nobody has reported because almost nobody was paying attention to the right thing. She turned her phone face down. She did not watch the notifications come in. She did not monitor the reaction. She did not read the responses or the analyses or the threads that formed within minutes of the post going live, full of people who had decided they understood what she had just done and why. She posted the thing she had decided to post at the time she had decided to post it, and then she put the phone down and she left it. This tells you everything about who she is that the post itself does not. She was not doing this for the reaction. She was not posting to start a conversation or to win a news cycle or to make sure her version entered the public record before anyone else's. She was posting because she had something to say and she said it, and the saying of it was the point, and what happened after the saying was not her responsibility and not her interest. She said it and she put the phone down. Now let me tell you what she confirmed. Not in my words, in the shape of what the post communicated to everyone who had been paying attention, everyone who knew the context. Everyone who had been watching the space where she had been silent for 3 years and understood what it meant when something appeared in that space. She confirmed that it was over, not ending, over. The distinction matters. Ending implies a process still in motion, a situation still resolving, an outcome not yet final. Over means a finality has been reached, the period has been placed. Whatever needed to happen has happened and has been concluded, and the conclusion is permanent. She confirmed that she knew, that she had always known, that the knowing had been hers from long before the public suspected there was anything to know, and that she had carried the knowing privately and deliberately and had chosen the moment of its expression rather than having the moment chosen for her. She confirmed that she was the one ending this. This is the part that the public version had consistently gotten wrong. The assumption that things had been done to her, that she was the recipient of decisions made by others, that her role in the story was the passive one. She confirmed with that post at that hour in that form that she was not passive, that she had never been passive, that everything that looked like passivity from the outside was actually a form of agency being exercised in a direction that the outside could not see because it was not performed for the outside. She was always in control of this. The post was not a reaction. It was a decision that had been ready for a long time, released at the moment she determined was right, in the form she determined was appropriate, with the level of explanation she determined was sufficient, which was none. No explanation, no context, no words, just the image and the timestamp and the 3 years of silence that preceded them, which together said everything that needed to be said, more completely than any statement could have said it. She is not going to elaborate. People are waiting for the elaboration, the interview, the detailed account, the full version with all the specifics that the post withheld. They're going to keep waiting. She has already said what she wanted to say. She said it in the form she chose. The post was not the beginning of her speaking. It was the entirety of it. She confirmed everything with nothing. That is who she is.